After 50, many people start waking up in the middle of the night. Often it happens around 2 or 3 a.m., almost like clockwork. You may fall asleep just fine, but staying asleep feels impossible. Your eyes open suddenly and your mind feels alert. There is no clear noise, no obvious reason. You lie there wondering what changed, and most people assume it's just stress or aging. But the real reason isn't stress at all. It's not your mattress, and it's not your habits. Something subtle is shifting inside your brain. Changes that don't cause pain or warning signs. They quietly alter how your brain manages night and day. This shift often begins without you noticing, until the awakenings start repeating. When this keeps happening, your brain never fully resets. Even if you stay in bed for 8 hours, your sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. The body rests, but the brain stays partially alert. This creates a cycle of fatigue that builds silently. Night after night, recovery becomes incomplete, and understanding why this happens is the first key to breaking that cycle. I'm Dr. Sarah, and for years I've studied how sleep changes after 50. My work focuses on the brain and the nervous system as we age. I've worked alongside sleep health experts and clinicians. They see the same pattern appear again and again. People who never struggled with sleep before, suddenly waking up in the middle of the night, often confused and frustrated by what's happening. What makes this pattern so important is how common it is. Millions of adults over 50 experience these night awakenings. It happens to men and women alike, active people, healthy eaters, lifelong good sleepers. No major illness, no dramatic lifestyle change, just a gradual shift that begins internally and shows up first during the night. Many people blame themselves when this starts. They think they did something wrong. They replay their day looking for mistakes. Too much coffee, too much screen time, too much stress. But in most cases, those aren't the real drivers. The body is responding to internal signals, signals that naturally change with age. This is why traditional sleep advice often falls short. Sleep hygiene alone doesn't explain these awakenings. Neither does willpower or discipline. The brain after 50 operates under different rules, rules that most people were never taught, and rules that aren't explained during routine checkups, leaving people without clear answers. The most important thing to understand is this: these changes are not a personal failure. They are not a sign that your body is broken. They reflect normal neurological shifts, shifts that happen quietly over time and affect how the brain regulates night and day, especially during the early morning hours. This isn't your fault. Your body is not betraying you. It's adapting to a new internal environment, one that requires a different kind of support. But to understand what kind of support actually helps, we first need to look at what's really happening inside the brain and why these awakenings follow such a specific pattern. This isn't insomnia, even though it feels similar at first. Insomnia is when the brain struggles to fall asleep. The problem happens at the beginning of the night, but many people after 50 fall asleep without trouble. The issue appears hours later in the deep of the night. Sleep starts normally, then suddenly breaks. That difference matters more than most people realize. After 50, the brain begins waking up at the wrong time, not because it wants to, but because its signals shift. The brain starts misreading the time of night. It acts as if morning is approaching too early. This creates alertness when rest should continue. Your eyes open and thoughts start moving, even though your body still needs sleep. At the center of this is the internal clock. This clock controls when you feel sleepy or awake. Over time, that rhythm slowly moves forward. It doesn't jump suddenly or dramatically. It advances by small, almost invisible steps, until one day, night no longer stays quiet and early awakenings become the new pattern. This shift is neurological, not behavioral. It's not caused by bad habits or lack of discipline. The brain simply starts sending wake-up signals too soon. These signals don't always feel strong at first. Sometimes it's just lighter sleep. Other times it's a full awakening at 3 a.m., but the source is the same internal misalignment. What makes this confusing is how the body feels. Physically, you're still tired, muscles want rest, eyes feel heavy, but mentally the brain feels alert. This mismatch creates anxiety and frustration. You wonder why sleep suddenly feels fragile, and that confusion often creates unnecessary fear. When you understand the real reason, the fear disappears because the problem finally has a name and a cause. It's not random and it's not permanent. It follows a clear biological pattern, a pattern shared by millions of people after 50. And once you see that pattern clearly, the next step is understanding what drives it at night. After 50, one of the first changes happens quietly. The brain produces less melatonin at night. Melatonin is the signal that tells the brain it is safe to stay asleep. When that signal weakens, sleep becomes lighter. You may not notice it at first, but the depth of sleep slowly decreases, and the night becomes easier to interrupt. At the same time, another signal starts to change. Cortisol, the alertness hormone, begins to rise earlier. Normally, cortisol increases closer to morning, but after 50, that rise can shift forward, sometimes by hours, not minutes. This creates alertness too early in the night, right when sleep should still be deep. This creates a tug of war inside the brain. One signal is trying to keep you asleep, the other is quietly preparing you to wake up. When melatonin drops too low and cortisol rises too soon, the balance breaks, and the brain moves toward wakefulness. That's why the timing feels so specific. Many people wake up around the same hour each night, often between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., not fully awake but not asleep either. Thoughts start moving faster. The mind feels alert for no clear reason, even though your body feels drained. It's like your brain turns the morning lights on too early. At 3 a.m., the switch flips halfway. The body is still in the dark, muscles are heavy, eyes feel tired, but the brain starts acting like dawn is near. This mismatch creates restlessness and makes falling back asleep difficult. This tug of war doesn't happen randomly. It follows a predictable biological shift, one that becomes stronger over time, and it explains why nights feel lighter after 50. But melatonin and cortisol are only part of the picture, because another system quietly amplifies this effect, and that system plays a major role in night awakenings. After 50, the nervous system changes in subtle ways. It becomes more sensitive to stimulation. Signals that were once ignored now get noticed. A small sound, a slight movement, a shift in temperature. None of these would wake you years ago, but now they register more easily, and the brain responds faster than before. This sensitivity affects how deeply you sleep. Deep sleep requires a calm, stable nervous system. When sensitivity increases, sleep becomes lighter. The brain stays closer to the surface of awareness, always partially listening for signals. This makes awakenings more likely, especially during the second half of the night. What surprises many people is how common this is. Studies show this shift happens to most adults as they age, even people who slept perfectly for decades, even those without anxiety or health issues. It's not caused by worry or overthinking alone. It's a biological adjustment, one that develops gradually over time. As the nervous system becomes more reactive, the brain needs less to switch into alert mode. This works together with lower melatonin and earlier cortisol release. Each change alone might be manageable, but combined they amplify each other, creating a perfect setup for night awakenings. This is why the brain feels on at 3 a.m., not fully awake but not fully asleep. The nervous system is slightly overstimulated, hovering in a state of readiness, even though there is no real danger. The brain reacts as if there might be and pulls you out of deeper sleep. You're not broken. Nothing is wrong with your willpower. Your system is not failing you. It's simply overstimulated at night, responding to internal signals differently than before. And once you understand this shift clearly, the next question becomes how to calm that system gently and safely. Doctor-approved sleep options can help in the short term. They may quiet the mind for a few hours, especially during particularly difficult nights. For some people, they provide temporary relief, and in certain situations, that relief is useful. But relief is not the same as correction, and that distinction becomes critical after 50. Most sleep pills work by suppressing brain activity. They slow signals or dull awareness. This can make falling asleep easier, but they don't teach the brain how to stay asleep. They don't restore the natural night rhythm. Once the effect wears off, the brain reactivates, often at the same early morning hour. After 50, the core issue is not sleep onset. Many people fall asleep quickly and easily. The real problem appears later in the night. The brain exits night mode too early. Alertness turns on before rest is complete. This is why awakenings feel so sudden and why returning to sleep becomes difficult. When suppression wears off, the nervous system rebounds. The brain resumes scanning for signals. Melatonin remains low, cortisol is already rising, and sensitivity is still high. So the same pattern repeats, night after night, without true improvement. This can create a frustrating cycle. You feel dependent on something external, but the underlying rhythm never adjusts. The brain never relearns when it is safe to stay asleep. Instead of becoming calmer, it becomes more reactive, especially in the early morning hours, where awakenings feel unavoidable. What the brain needs after 50 is different, not force, but guidance, not silence, but reassurance, support that works with natural biology, helping the brain remain in night mode longer. Because once you understand this distinction clearly, the next step is learning how sleep science supports the brain gently instead of suppressing it. After 50, the brain no longer responds well to force. Strong stimulation can create resistance instead of rest. Sleep science shows the aging brain prefers gentle signals, signals that feel familiar and non-threatening. This is especially true at night, when sensitivity is naturally higher and the nervous system is easily activated. Gentle neurological support works with the brain's biology. Instead of overpowering it, it guides it. The goal is not to shut the brain down. The goal is to help it feel safe enough to stay asleep. Safety is the signal the brain looks for at night. When that signal is present, alertness fades and deeper sleep becomes possible again. One key part of this process is supporting melatonin, not forcing it, but helping the brain signal it naturally. Melatonin tells the brain the night is stable, that nothing urgent needs attention. As this signal strengthens, sleep depth improves. The brain stops checking for threats, and awakenings become less frequent. The nervous system is the other half of the equation. A calm nervous system allows sleep to stay intact. When stimulation drops, sensitivity decreases. The brain no longer reacts to every small signal. Sounds fade into the background, body movements don't trigger alertness, and the mind stays quieter for longer stretches. This is when people notice the first changes. Nights don't feel as tense, thoughts slow down more naturally. The urge to analyze or worry decreases. The brain feels less on guard. Sleep doesn't feel forced or fragile. It feels smoother and more continuous. When the brain feels safe, sleep returns naturally, not all at once, but progressively. The night regains a steady rhythm. Early awakenings happen less often, and when they do happen, returning to sleep is easier. But this kind of support has to come from the right sources, and understanding what truly provides that support is the next step. This approach is different from traditional sleep solutions. It does not try to overpower the brain. It does not force unconsciousness. Instead, it works by supporting natural signals, signals your brain already recognizes, especially the ones that change after 50, and that makes all the difference. After 50, the brain becomes more selective. It resists harsh stimulation, but it responds well to familiar biological cues. This kind of support aligns with that reality. Rather than pushing the brain into sleep, it encourages the conditions sleep depends on: calm, safety, and stable night signals. This is why safety matters so much. Any support used at night must feel gentle, not activating, not stimulating. Sleep science shows the brain evaluates risk constantly. If something feels intrusive, alertness increases. If it feels supportive, alertness fades, and rest becomes sustainable. Doctor-approved support focuses on this balance. It respects how the nervous system works after 50. It supports melatonin signaling naturally, it helps reduce nighttime overstimulation, and it does so without overwhelming the system. This makes it suitable for long-term use, not just occasional relief. Many people prefer this kind of approach because it gives them control back. They are not forcing their body to comply. They are working with it instead. This builds trust in the process and reduces anxiety around sleep, which alone improves night quality. For those who want to support their sleep naturally, this option is available in the first pinned comment. It's there for people who want to explore it at their own pace without pressure. But before deciding what support fits best, it's important to understand what changes people usually notice first and why those early signals matter more than most realize. Most people don't notice a dramatic change overnight. The first shift is usually subtle. Nights begin to feel calmer. The mind doesn't race as much when lying in bed. Thoughts slow down more naturally. There's less tension around falling asleep, and the night feels less fragile overall. This calmness is an important early signal. It means the nervous system is responding. The brain is spending less time in alert mode. Small sounds or movements feel less disruptive. Sleep feels smoother instead of shallow. Even when awakenings still happen, they feel less intense and shorter. As nights continue, another change appears. Those familiar 3 a.m. awakenings start happening less often. Not every night, but gradually. Sometimes they still occur, but with less urgency. The brain doesn't fully switch on. Returning to sleep becomes easier, and anxiety around the clock begins to fade. Over time, mornings begin to change as well. People report waking up feeling lighter, less groggy, and less mentally foggy. The body feels more restored. Energy feels steadier through the day, not because of more hours in bed, but because sleep quality improves. Studies suggest this pattern reflects a deeper shift. The brain is slowly returning to a healthier night rhythm. Melatonin signals stabilize. Cortisol timing becomes less aggressive. The nervous system stays calmer for longer. This is not a spike or a crash, it's a gradual recalibration. These early changes matter more than most people think. They show the brain is relearning night mode and that progress is already happening internally. But many people misunderstand what to do next. They accidentally interrupt this process by making common mistakes that slow progress, which is why understanding what not to do becomes essential next. After 50, your sleep isn't broken. Nothing has stopped working inside you. Your brain hasn't failed you. It's still doing what it was designed to do. It's just operating under new conditions. Conditions that weren't explained to you and that require a different response. Many people assume poor sleep means decline. They believe it's an unavoidable part of aging, something to tolerate or fight against. But sleep science shows a different story. The brain is adaptive, not defective. It responds to signals and environments, and those signals change over time. What's really happening is a request. The brain is asking for more support at night, not stronger force or harsher control, but clearer signals of safety and calm, signals that match how it functions after 50. When those signals are present, the brain naturally stays in night mode longer. This reframing changes everything emotionally. It removes blame and frustration. It replaces confusion with clarity. Instead of fighting your body, you listen to it. Instead of forcing sleep, you support it. This shift alone reduces nighttime anxiety, which already improves sleep quality. Support doesn't mean dependency. It means working with biology instead of against it, choosing options that respect the nervous system, that align with natural rhythms, and that feel sustainable long term. This is where many people regain confidence because sleep no longer feels fragile. If you want to explore that kind of support, it's waiting in the pinned comment. There's no pressure or urgency, just an option to learn more and to observe how your body responds. Because the most important changes happen when you start paying attention, and that awareness is where better nights truly begin.